Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into the insightful pages of How Innovation Works by acclaimed author Matt Ridley. Released in 2020, this book offers a provocative lens through which to view history, placing innovation at its pulsing heart. Ridley eloquently dissects the intricate process of human ingenuity, offering an in-depth exploration into the mechanics of innovation and addressing its essential role in societal progress. Author Matt Ridley brings with him a lineage of best-selling works focused on the synergies of science, technology, and economics. His distinguished bibliography includes titles such as The Evolution of Everything, How New Ideas Emerge, The Rational Optimist, How Prosperity Evolves, and Genome, The Autobiography of a Species, in 23 chapters. Ridley's expertise in the field casts a credible light on the subject matter of innovation. This book is a perfect match for history enthusiasts, keen on diving into the origins of contemporary technology and understanding the developmental strides that have led us here. It's also an intriguing read for futurists who are always on the lookout for what groundbreaking invention might come next. And it doesn't stop there. If you're simply curious about the dynamics behind the ever-evolving world around us, How Innovation Works offers a rich, compelling narrative about the transformative power of human creativity and inventiveness. Join us as we unpack the wonders of innovation in this thought-provoking episode. How Innovation Works and Why It Flourishes in Freedom. Introduction. Unlock the secrets of human ingenuity and how it shapes our world. Have you ever stopped and marveled at the ingenuity behind the everyday objects surrounding you? We often take for granted the sheer genius that brought us technologies like the radio, which complements our morning routines, or the jet engine that transports us across continents. Think of the vaccines protecting us from once fatal diseases, or consider something as simple as a rolling suitcase that forever changed how we travel. These aren't mere conveniences, they are the fruits of innovation, an elusive catalyst for human progress. So what sparks this mysterious force called innovation? That's the very enigma we often puzzle over. Despite being the backbone of technological evolution and the success story of civilizations, innovation is a concept that many fail to grasp in its entirety. But, as we trace the footprints of human creativity through history, patterns emerge and a narrative unfolds, one that reveals the fertile ground from which innovation emerges. In the journey through this narrative, you'll discover the fascinating backstory of some of civilization's most remarkable innovations. You'll encounter the argument that innovation isn't just a stroke of luck or the product of a genius's mind. It's a complex, messy affair. It advances incrementally, flourishes from the ground up, and depends heavily on collective effort and the unhampered sharing of ideas. Prepare to be intrigued as you learn about the curious path that's led to inventions you never thought twice about. From the absurdity of margarine once being outlawed, to the realization of how a bit of pus led to the protection against smallpox, and even the connection between your everyday frying pan and the construction of an atomic bomb. These are the tales of innovation you never knew. These stories are not only testament to human resourcefulness, but also guides, shedding light on how innovation works and how it continues to transform our world in ways we can scarce imagine. Part 1. The Curious Case of Collective Genius and the Birth of the Steam Engine. Picture the turning point of the Industrial Revolution, an era marked by a quantum leap in human productivity. We have the emergence of a groundbreaking invention, the atmospheric steam engine, to thank for this seismic shift. But whom do we applaud for this revolutionary creation? Many may instinctively credit a single mastermind, yet history paints a more intricate picture that illustrates the very nature of innovation. Here's the conundrum. Around the turn of the 18th century, not one, not two, but three inventors, each with a compelling claim, unveiled working prototypes of the atmospheric steam engine. Denis Papin, Thomas Savery, and Thomas Newcomen, a trio entangled in the genesis of a technology that would change the world. Each brought their own spin to the table, and the lines of who influenced whom and who was the true original thinker remain blurred. This entanglement underscores a profound truth. Innovation is a complex, messy, and collective process. To simplify innovation by attributing a groundbreaking discovery to a lone genius does a disservice to the rich tapestry of factors that actually shape an invention. Innovators do not conjure ideas out of thin air. They are profoundly influenced by their surroundings, the tools they use, the technologies they tinker with, the ideas that spark their curiosity, and the social dynamics they navigate. Take the atmospheric steam engine, for example, which heats water to create steam, generating pressure changes that can drive machinery work, such as pumping water from mines. Could any of the three pioneers have single-handedly birthed this concept without external inputs? The answer points to a resounding no. The underpinnings of the steam engine were already fueling discussions in scientific communities. Educated inventors like Papin and Savery honed their ambitions through energetic correspondence with peers. Moreover, Newcomen, whose version of the engine gained the most traction, benefited enormously from preceding blacksmithing advancements. Given this insight, it's clear that innovation is more like a choir than a solo act. An innovator's contributions are inextricably linked to their environment and era. This universal principle of innovation extends beyond the realm of steam. For instance, consider Thomas Edison, often hailed as the father of the electric light bulb. Yet, he was one among more than 20 inventors who filed patents for similar inventions, each drawing from the collective pool of contemporary ideas and technologies. True, some attempts outshone the rest, but not one of these breakthroughs materialized in a vacuum. Therein lies the essence of how innovation truly works. Part 2. The daring dance of medical breakthroughs, from engraftment to vaccines. In the annals of history, medical innovations stand out as some of the most daring gambits ever undertaken in the pursuit of human health. One particular tale makes this abundantly clear and showcases just how high the stakes could be. The unsettling yet surprisingly effective practice of engraftment as a means to deal with smallpox. Visualize the process: obtaining pus from the lesions of a smallpox sufferer, then intentionally introducing it into an open wound on a healthy person. This might sound more like a horror story than a medical procedure, but herein lies the rudimentary roots of vaccination, a concept that was as groundbreaking as it was, frankly, grotesque. Medical innovations carry a balance of peril and promise. This ancient practice of engraftment, which would raise more than a few eyebrows today, was an early example of how the medical field often strides into the fog of the unknown, working partly on intuition, partly on observed evidence, risking much for the reward of improved health. Fast forward to the 20th century, and we're met with another bold medical maneuver: the decontamination of Jersey City's water supply. In 1908, facing a dire public health crisis due to pathogen-ridden water, Dr. John Layle took a leap of faith. He added chloride of lime, a disinfectant, to the water, an idea that was shocking and unsavory to the public. Yet Dr. Layle had heard whispers of its efficacy overseas, and, in the face of pressing need, he acted. The gamble yielded results. Disease rates took a nosedive, and the practice soon spread like wildfire to other communities. Bravery on the frontiers of medical innovation is not a relic of the past, but a constant in our modern world. Consider the contentious debate around electronic cigarettes, a conundrum of our times. Seen by some as a gateway out of tobacco addiction, vaping carries the potential to lower death rates tied to smoking. Yet the long-term health impacts of this alternative are shrouded in mystery, leaving it mired in controversy. While the United Kingdom has cautiously endorsed them, Australia stands at the other end of the debate with an outright ban. The jury is still out on where the balance truly lies in this new health innovation. Each of these examples underscores a larger picture. The realm of health and medicine is often a high-stakes theater where risks and rewards are tightly woven together. The drive to ease human suffering propels us into uncharted scientific territories, boldly facing the uncertainty of side effects and moral dilemmas. In this ongoing saga, only time can reveal the full consequences of our leaps into the unknown, each step another milestone in the relentless pursuit of medical innovation. Part 3. The slow ride to revolutionary travel, the evolution of steam-powered locomotion. Embark on a journey back to the early days of the 19th century, when horse-drawn carriages ruled the roads, and the notion of a steam-powered locomotive was a dream sparking in the minds of visionary engineers. The path to revolutionizing travel was not one of leaps and bounds, but rather a procession of baby steps, with each quirky-sounding contraption marking a step closer to modern transport. The pursuit of a steam-driven world on rails began with a menagerie of prototypes, each with a name as whimsical as its design was earnest: the Salamanca, the Puffing Billy, the Sans Pareil. These pioneering locomotives chugged along, representing incremental advancements toward a future where iron horses would rule. Despite the setbacks, each failed trial carved the path a bit clearer for the next attempt. And then came the rocket, a crowning achievement in locomotive engineering by Robert Stephenson, capable of hauling significant cargo at impressive speeds. With the rocket's success, the seeds were sown for a full-fledged railway boom that would reshape the world. Patience, it seems, is a key virtue of travel innovation, with each small tweak and adjustment contributing to the grand tapestry of progress. Consider the internal combustion engine, the heartbeat of today's ubiquitous automobiles. Its genealogy traces back to the explosive hydrogen and oxygen model developed by Isaac de Rivaz in 1807. An evolutionary leap was made by Jean-Joseph Lenoir in 1860 when he adapted the design to use petroleum. Yet, it remained a lumbering beast until Nicolas Otto offered a further refinement, the four-stroke engine. With quieter operation and increased efficiency, Otto's innovation laid the foundation for the German inventor Carl Benz, who utilized it to power his creation, the motor wagon, a luxury curiosity of its time. However, it wasn't until Henry Ford entered the scene with the Model T, combined with an ingenious assembly line production method in 1909, that the car truly became a king of the road, eclipsing its equine predecessor. The culmination of years of step-by-step improvements had finally led to a transport revolution available to the masses. The narrative of the steam locomotive and the internal combustion engine underscores that the road to transformative travel was paved not with sudden epiphanies or pristine designs, but with patient, persistent enhancements. It's this incremental, sometimes unsung process of innovation, stacked over time, that has fueled the journey from horse-drawn carts to a world connected by engine-powered motion. Part 4. From the potato phenomenon to the number revolution. Embracing great ideas. Imagine something as commonplace as the potato. Hearty, unassuming, yet not always the culinary delight adored worldwide today. The potato's journey to earning a place at European dining tables highlights how innovation doesn't just manifest in gadgets or inventions. Sometimes, it's the propagation of groundbreaking ideas that can steer society in pivotal new directions. Originally hailing from the Andes Mountains, the potato's transplant to European soil in the 16th century was met with suspicion and resistance. Sprinkled with mistrust and ensnared by misconceptions, this tuber was an unwelcome alien, even cast out by religious decrees and plagued by myths of disease. Fast forward a few centuries, and through the incremental cultivation of taste and understanding, the potato triumphed as a dietary staple across the continent. The potato's transformation from reject to beloved staple serves as a testament that innovations are not exclusively material, but can take the form of ideas, transforming perspectives and reshaping habits. Take, for instance, something as abstract yet ubiquitous as our numerical system, the very fabric of our financial, educational, and scientific spheres. It's challenging to imagine counting without 1s, 2s, and 3s, yet there was a time when the concept of Arabic numerals was just as revolutionary and foreign in Europe as the potato. The numerical system we rely on today can trace its origins back to Indian scholars and was later adopted by Arabian tradespeople. Europe's rendezvous with this numerical marvel occurred around the 1200s and was popularized by Fibonacci, an Italian author who realized Arabic numerals' potential to outshine the unwieldy Roman numerals of his era. The introduction of a positional value system allowed numbers to take on diverse meanings based on their arrangement. A simple 5 could morph into 50 with the addition of a 0, unlocking a new dimension of mathematical capability. This fundamental change may have seemed minor, but it unfurled a realm of possibilities. With Arabic numerals, complex calculations became feasible. Financial bookkeeping was simplified, and the wheels of trade, commerce, and scientific inquiry were oiled and set in motion. Embracing these numerals was an ideational innovation that catapulted Europe into an era of prosperity and advancement. Both the humble potato and the Arabic numeric system illustrate how the embrace of an idea can be just as revolutionary as the creation of a new device. Innovations, in their many forms, are the cogs and wheels that continue to drive humanity forward, be they in the fields we sow or the numbers we calculate. Part 5. Connecting across the globe, the surge of communication technology. Cast your mind back to Baltimore in the year 1843. The Whig Party's political convention concludes with the all-important nomination of Henry Clay for president. Normally, relaying such pivotal news to the nation's capital would be the work of a lengthy train ride, but in a twist signifying the dawn of a new communicative age, the announcement is whisked to Washington, D.C. within mere seconds, courtesy of a revolutionary piece of technology, the telegraph. This marvel of engineering, the brainchild of Samuel Morse, opens the floodgates to a world eager for instant communication. This desire to connect, to share news and thoughts without the tyranny of distance, propels a rapid series of innovations. The telegraph's infancy soon makes room for its siblings, the telephone in 1876 and the wireless radio not long after, each successive invention shrinking the world and threading humanity closer together. Communicating at the speed of thought soon becomes not the exception, but the norm. Across the vast expanse of oceans, telegraph cables provide the invisible threads linking continents in real time. From a humble beginning with a single telegraph line, the fabric of electronic connection sprawls to span oceans and encompass the globe. Advances in technology did not stall with Morse's audacious initiative. The inexorable force of progression carries on, bringing forth the computing age with transistors at its core, and with them, the embodiment of Moore's law. The technological leap from the bulky transistors of the 1970s to the sophisticated billion-transistor chips of today tells a tale of exponential miniaturization that's nothing short of miraculous. And then arrives the grand network of networks, the Internet, creating an infrastructure of information sharing on an unprecedented scale. Boundless knowledge and ceaseless communication now dance at our fingertips, shaping a world where data is the currency and he who controls the technology wields a considerable share of power. Entities like Google and Facebook have risen to prominence, not through physical products or tangible services, but by mastering the art of global connectivity, providing platforms that facilitate and indeed define modern-day dialogue. Society's voracious appetite for communication has fueled an innovation race, a cascade of developments forever transforming how we interact and experience the world. From the days of horse and carriage news delivery to the instantaneous global conversations of today, our timeless pursuit of better, faster, more efficient means of communication remains one of humanity's defining and most relentless quests. Part 6. When serendipity meets collaboration, innovation thrives. Pause for a moment and look around your kitchen or consider the gear used in extreme outdoor adventures. These everyday marvels, from the non-stick pans that simplify cooking to the Gore-Tex garments, shielding adventurers from the elements, have a peculiar connection. A material known as polytetrafluoroethylene, or PTFE. In 1938, a serendipitous discovery during refrigerant research led to the accidental synthesis of PTFE. A bit of luck, definitely. Yet luck alone didn't transform this stable, heat-resistant substance into the versatile innovations we see today. It was the subsequent fusion of chance, collaboration, and creative reapplication that turned a lab accident into a technological cornerstone. Innovations are rarely a solo affair, and they frequently start with some fortuitous event, a lucky insight, or the random founding of a new substance. The real magic happens when that lucky break is shared, molded, and tested across various domains. It's the cross-pollination of ideas that truly fuels progress. Let's consider another case: the impactful use of DNA as forensic evidence in criminal justice. Dr. Alec Jeffreys wasn't trying to revolutionize detective work. His ambition was to probe DNA for disease diagnosis. In the weave of nature's blueprint, he recognized an accidental revelation: the uniqueness of each person's genetic script. This incidental discovery became the linchpin in solving a grave crime after local authorities teamed up with Jeffreys, tying a suspect to a crime scene through genetic fingerprinting, and ultimately cracking a murder case. This pattern, unexpected encounters, birthing grand ideas, followed by collaborative development, is a common thread running through countless stories of innovation. It's indicative of an environment conducive to breakthroughs. Places rich in diversity and interaction, like universities, marketplaces, and dynamic cities, have always been hotbeds for innovation. They act as crucibles where people from varied walks of life, armed with different skills and worldviews, converge and share. The result? A nourishing, idea-rich milieu that propels innovative thought and action. Understanding this interconnected dance of chance and collaboration reveals key conditions for innovation to flourish. Give people the space to collide, discuss, and experiment, and you create a fertile ground where the seeds of innovation are sown and cultivated, ripe for the future's harvest. Part 7. Unveiling Innovation. Sometimes the underdog has the upper hand. Take a moment to travel back to 1924, to the pinnacle of British aeronautical ambition, where the quest to master the skies with airships capable of oceanic voyages led to an intriguing experiment. The British government stood at a crossroads, pondering whether the reins of innovation are best held by the steely grasp of government labs or the nimble hands of private enterprise. Opting to trial both paths, they set forth two projects: the government-backed R-101 and the privately engineered R-100. The outcome of this tale of aviation is telling. Vickers' R-100 soared to Canada and returned without a hitch, a marvel of efficiency and design. In stark contrast, the hulking R-101, bogged down by bureaucratic heft and costly excesses, met a tragic end on French soil, never to reach its destination of Karachi. The stark divergence in fate of these two airships illuminates a key principle in the world of innovation. Innovation is not a game best played in the lofty echelons of government oversight alone. While the state can birth profound discoveries, the lithe touch of private industry is often what molds these breakthroughs into tangible, world-altering technologies. Take, for example, the birth of the Internet, a grand concept initially spun in the web of government initiatives like those of the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. Yet these digital tendrils only ensnared the collective consciousness of the globe when companies like Cisco leaped on the bandwagon, weaving the fledgling networks into a tool indispensable in modern life. This dance between government-initiated discovery and private sector innovation shows that large-scale projects might miss the mark for everyday users' needs and be sluggish to embrace radical, game-changing ideas. Herein lies the paradox. Even Goliaths in the private sector may suffer a similar fate, their size and success blinding them to paradigm shifts on the horizon. The cautionary tale of Kodak is a perfect illustration. Once the kingpin of photography, Kodak stumbled over the digital camera revolution despite being on its cutting edge, one of their own engineers crafting among the earliest prototypes. Dismissed as a trifling gadget unworthy of focus, this oversight allowed agile, more forward-looking competitors to eclipse the giant, eventually pushing Kodak into the abyss of bankruptcy. In the world of innovation, heritage and hierarchy don't always equate to prowess. Often, the most monumental shifts come from unlikely sources, small startups shaking the foundations of industry, proving time and again that fresh perspectives and swift adaptability can trump the stagnant comfort zones of established players. Part 8. Pushing Past the Barriers. The Inevitable Clash with Innovation. Envision the buttery rows of a contemporary grocery store's dairy section, a peaceful coexistence between the gleaming packs of butter and their margarine counterparts. Today, this scene epitomizes consumer choice. However, rewind to 1869, and you'll uncover a time when margarine's introduction to the market stirred a storm of contention. Seen as a threat to dairy livelihoods, margarine faced a crusade led by the dairy industry, replete with smear campaigns and even dubious research claiming health hazards. This culminated in a legislative ban in numerous states, manifesting the resistance that meets many innovations upon their debut. Innovation's path is often strewn with obstacles, as it tends to trigger societal trepidation and industry's instinct for self-preservation. From breeders bemoaning the advent of tractors, to musicians railing against radio's rise, history brims with examples of how fear and vested interests have conspired to combat change. One tactic leveraged to stymie innovation involves igniting safety and security fears. A contemporary incarnation of this is the debate around genetically modified organisms, GMOs. With the promise of fortified nutrition for the masses, as offered by breakthroughs like vitamin A-rich golden rice, GMOs still find themselves at odds with organizations like Greenpeace, who lobby fervently grounded on contested claims of potential harm. Another bulwark against innovation is the increasingly stringent enforcement of intellectual property laws. At their essence, patents and copyrights are designed to spur innovation by granting creators a period of uncontested enjoyment of their brainchildren. Yet constructive imitation is the lifeblood of progress, fueled by borrowing and enhancing the work of predecessors. The alarming extension of copyright durations, from an initial 14 years to life plus 70 years, highlights a dissonance where these laws, instead of fostering creativity, subdue it beneath extended monopolies on ideas long after their creator's demise. Is the spirit of innovation at risk of being irreversibly dampened amidst these tightening shackles? That remains a debatable issue. Certainly, the past has seen the tides of ingenuity eventually overcoming such barriers, hinting at resilience and adaptability that may well continue to underpin the trajectory of progress. Despite the challenges muster against it, innovation has a propensity to navigate through impediments, continually asserting its transformative impact on the flow of human history. Part 9. As innovation shifts eastward, the West grapples with a creative slump. Project your imagination forward to the year 2050, an epoch brimming with the potential for marvels that could redefine our existence: curative gene therapies, AI-guided transit systems, and boundless clean energy from nuclear fusion. It's a vision that hinges on relentless innovation, but the present trajectory prompts a critical inquiry. Are we on the right path? And who is leading the charge in this race towards a future of wonders? Innovation, once the heartbeat of Western progress, now beats with a hesitant rhythm in its traditional strongholds, yet it thrives with vibrancy in other quarters of the globe. The Western world, which made monumental strides from pastoral landscapes to industrial behemoths within a handful of generations, now shows signs of stalling. Take air travel, for instance, a sector that seems frozen in time, with commercial aircraft speeds virtually unchanged since 1958. Moreover, the entrepreneurial vigor that once fueled economies is dwindling, with new ventures taking up a shrinking slice of America's economic pie. Europe presents an even more sobering outlook. Its roster of top-value companies bears the imprint of age, with innovation taking a back seat to the safeguarding of established market positions. However, innovation's flame burns fiercely elsewhere, notably in China. In the span of a few decades, this rising nation has executed an unprecedented sprint of urban and technological advancement. Chinese juggernauts like Tencent and Alibaba now spearhead burgeoning industries, while Chinese academia pioneers advances in gene editing and artificial intelligence. If the West intends to hold its own in this shifting innovation landscape, a rekindling of the creative spirit is in order. Businesses must be bolder in their pursuits, workforces more dedicated, and governments must cultivate the free-flowing idea exchange that has historically sparked periods of explosive ingenuity. It's a formidable recipe, one that combines hard work, risk-taking, and perhaps a dash of serendipity to place innovation firmly back on the agenda and steer us towards that 2050 horizon of untold possibilities. Final summary. Innovation is an intricate dance that defies the notion of sparks of genius in sudden seclusion, unveiling itself instead as an ongoing and collaborative struggle. Each instance of ingenuity arrives at the intersection where fortunate accidents are shaped and refined by a myriad of thinkers. Innovations are honed over time, reworked and enhanced as they find meaningful applications in our daily lives. At its core, innovation is about the collective, a symphony played by an orchestra of diverse contributors. It's the gradual layering of improvements, the tinkering of daring minds taking what already exists and daring to envision a better, more efficient, or more effective form. The promise of innovation for the times ahead hinges on facilitating the conditions that have always cultivated it. A rich cross-pollination of ideas, bolstered by a willingness to take risks and step into the unknown. Our journey through these insights reaffirms that, to truly propel innovation forward, we must nurture an environment where knowledge is freely accessible and where audacious attempts are not just encouraged but celebrated. In a world where the contrapuntal forces of stasis and advancement play out, it's this unyielding pursuit of progress that will play a pivotal role in shaping our collective destiny. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.